Hello folks, welcome to this behind the scenes bonus process video lesson. Let me make myself a little bit bigger here so you can see me still and the screen. I am just starting a new sound slice practice video for you all to learn your 7th chord inversions, your drop 2 voicings on strings. You ready for this? 6-5-4, 6-5-4. 6-5-4-3. Have to learn to count. So let me go ahead and get this started. It's a brand new from scratch. Bam. I'm showing you how I do this. Guitar. Okay, let's go for it. From scratch. That way, not only will you learn it along with me, you get to go through the process. Okay, this is very important to me, the process of it. So we're going to start the same format. Major 7, dominant 7. This is what I call the routine. Major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, flat 5, dim 7, and then we're going to do major 6 and minor 6, okay? So let's start with C. We'll do it in C this time, C major 7. So we're going to start with G, C, E, and B. And this is why I often stay away from these. It's okay in the solo context. It's dark and really kind of muddy. I kind of like it. In music school, you're always taught, like, stay away from that, having the 6th and the 5th string at the same time. But after listening to Django a lot and some other guitar players that kind of have that dark sound, George Van Epps too. So I'm kind of starting to embrace it a little bit more. That's a C major 7. The 5th is in the bass, the major 7 is on the 3rd string. Okay, so all these notes will be on the melody notes will be on the 3rd string. Usually I say learn it on the 1st string first and then the 2nd string, but now this will kind of complete this study. This is C major 7. This is a routine with the 6-5-4-3 strings. And let's go ahead and label these as we go along here. So make sure you grab the guitar. Don't just watch these videos. I know I say that every time, but it really is important that you go through this process with me. So I could just copy and paste this. That'd be easy. But you know me, I like to copy and paste. So I'm just gonna paste this in here real fast. That's easy. And I'm gonna change this to C7. Oops, I shouldn't have done that yet. Oops. C7. All I do is change the 3rd. So this is very important. I have to spell it correctly. That copy and paste is more work than it's worth sometimes. So one note changes here. Okay, this is C dominant 7. So major 7, dominant 7. Okay, just get used to this. And I know how many of you think. You might say, oh, this shape, that's like this. A minor 7, C major 7. That's quite interesting, isn't it? You might say, oh, it's like E7, you know what I mean? It's a dominant shape. So guitar players, we love these shapes. So whatever it takes for you to memorize, as long as you don't confuse yourself, that's fine. And then dominant 7. And you might say, oh, that's like a 6 shape here. G6 or C minor 6. And that's totally true. Make these connections. So this is now, let's see, this was C7, so this is D7. C7. Is that cool? So check this out. You're going to love this. G6. I'll have to do a separate video on this. C minor 6. D7. G6. Is that neat? One shape. One shape. Check this out. G6. D7. Really kind of dark and muddy. You're told in music schools to stay away from this shape, the sound, and just do this. But it kind of sounds good for gypsy jazz. One, G6, C minor 6, D7, G6. Okay, so you see where I'm going with this. This is kind of neat for comping as well, since we're on these lower strings. So it's not so much chord melody anymore, but we're going to use it for chord melody too. Let's go on. So now from this C7 here, I can copy this, paste it, change one note here, over that, and I got to also flat the 3. So what do I have to do? Where's the 3 of C? It's right here. And that's now C minor 7. Okay. So we have G, C, flat 3, E flat, and B flat. Yes, and that means the 6 will be here. See, some of these are not that fun to play. I mean, they're challenging to play, I think. But again, you might say, oh, that's just like doing this. So now it's C minor 7. Pretty cool, actually. It's dark. Okay, I'm just gonna go on a little bit quicker here so we could get through these inversions. So now we're gonna take, oh, I guess I went back to C7. Let's go ahead and flat that. So it's that should read, by the way, B flat, not A sharp. And then we got to flatten the 3. Okay, that should be an E flat. And then we have to flat the 5. Ooh, let's call that G flat. This is a C minor 7, flat 5 with a flat 5 on the bass. And I hope when you look at the grid there that you recognize that. You might, again, I won't talk too much about this. You might say, hey, Tracy, isn't that like a diminished 7 on the 5th string root? Sure is. Isn't that cool? This would be C dim 7, but now it's C minor 7 flat 5. Here's C minor 7. Here's C minor 7 flat 5 with the flat 5 in the bass, super dark. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the fully dim 7 here. Let's copy this one, paste it, just kind of doing it. Actually, I got to do a whole new measure here. Let's do that. Bam. So now we have to double flat the 7. Now it's a fully dim 7, C dim 7. Okay. Let's check out the shape and play through it. So you got 2, 3, 1, 2. You just have to get your fingering. And I'm like, what shape does that recognize? Does that remind me of? And it reminds me of that dominant 7 with the flat 7 on the top. Okay. Or on the bass. The inversion on the 5th string root. So definitely make these connections. Let's go in and just do 2 more here. Let's do the major 6 and the minor 6. So I'm gonna copy this one, the major 7. By the way, these were the 5 7th chords. Now I'm just going to go ahead and just do the routine here and do the 6s. So I'm going to just do this first. So make that a whole note. New measure. And I'm going to put the C major 7 here because this is often how I demonstrate it. I'll say play C major 7. I'll put it as a half note. Then I'll say make it a 6. That's C6. So this is a good study. Here's your 7ths. And here's your 6s. And let's do the same. I'm going to copy the minor 7. I'm going to paste it. And let's make that a half note. I'm going to paste it again. And then I'm going to make it a 6. Oh, that changes now. Oh. C minor 6. Bam. So we want to practice these major 7, C major 7, C major 6. I am borrowing there, by the way. Now let's start on C minor 7 here. We have this. C6, minor 6. Okay, pretty cool. Kind of looks like doing this, but we don't really use that chord. So, that's the first route. Now, let's go ahead and just copy and paste. And we'll adjust. Let's do a double bar here. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next inversion. That was G in the lowest. Now I'm thinking the lowest note. Is that funny? It helps me a lot. So now we're going to put the B here. This is going to be a C major 7 with the 7 in the bass. So we got a B, we got an E, we got a G, and a C. Yeah, again, these will be, many of these you will have not played. Many of these I don't know. Check that out. You know, isn't that neat? Here's our normal shape, but now it is lower. B, E, G, and C. Okay. Bam. Now we're gonna. Oh, now we're gonna. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do here. As I think about it, we're gonna take this note and flat it. The other ones need to be the same. And the spelling should be a B flat. That's a C7 with a B flat in the bass. So we had this for major 7. Now it's going to be C7 with the B flat in the bass. Again, here's that C triad. Yeah, that's a good way to think of it. Okay. Now when we make it minor 7, we're going to flat that. Again, if you don't know your formulas, this is a good time to learn your 7th chord formulas. So let's do this. And get the spelling correct. Okay. Now we're going to do the minor 7 flat 5. I'm just kind of showing you how I'm altering these shapes. Now we're going to take this note, the 5th, and flat it. So let's continue right here. And then that will be that's a C minor, and all of these notes should read as flat notes, because we want an E flat and a G flat and a B flat respectively in a minor 7 flat 5, and then the dim 7. We gotta take that note and double flat it, so it's actually gonna be an A. That grid shouldn't have happened yet. Let's put an A. Everything else will be the same as a previous chord. So again, I'm just using some of my theoretical knowledge of chord formulas to help get this done quicker, essentially. This should technically read a B double flat, which is A. I'm just going to leave the spelling as an A, because I often think of these dim 7 as 6s. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of cruise through this a little bit. You can please play through these as I'm writing. I won't go through each one separately. And then let's go ahead and do the same study here from the major 7. I'm just going to grab this, as I mentioned, paste it in over here, and then we're going to do the 6, and we're going to just do this, add a note, and that's going to change that one note right there. Okay, you might say, oh, I know that, Tracy. We know that as like an A minor 7 bar chord. A, E, C, I didn't say it right, A, E, G, C, that's A minor 7, but we're calling it C6, because that's just the inversion. But hopefully you'll recognize that as an A minor 7. All right, let's keep going. Hopefully you're enjoying this. Let me always know in the comments if you enjoy these process videos. Let's see, what did I do? Uh-oh, let's delete that shape and redo it again. Call it C6. Okay, sweet. So let's go ahead and take the minor 7 shape, and we're going to turn it to a minor 6. So if this is what we do, is the 7th is in the bass, by the way, so we're going to flat that note here to a 6. So let's go ahead and copy it. Let me make that a half note, by the way. Copy, paste, and then we're going to change this one note, and then call it a C minor 6. You see how easy that is? You probably didn't know that you could just do this. And this is now C minor 6. Is that interesting? Play through these. I'm going to put a double bar, and we're going to go through the process again. I'm just going to go ahead and copy these ones here. Paste. It's easier that way to get a starting point. Okay, so now we're going to be on the root. Root, 5th, 7, 3. I actually like this one quite a bit. Okay. thinking formulas, okay? Now we're gonna take the 7 here and flat it. Oh, let me get these. Let me get just to show you here, right here. That's our flat 7. So let's make sure this is spelled to B flat there. Let's go to minor 7 here, and we need a flat 7 and a flat 7. Let's rename that. Some of these I'm sure you've already played before, but check out that shape if you have not. Okay. And oh, and let's see here. We got it flat the 5th, so root, say it with me, flat 5, flat 7, and flat 3rd. And let's spell these correctly. Now these are, because we're up higher, it'd be equivalent to being over here. So, you know, this sound would be the same as this. Sounds different timbre-wise. That's T-I-M-B-R-E, timbre, the sound of it, the color of it, timbre. Listen to it here. It's a little bit brighter because that 2nd string is a plain steel string versus this. These are all wound, so you get a darker, fatter sound. Same 4 notes. A little bit brighter. Okay. That's another consideration. Okay, let's go on here. Let's rename this. So, we've got the diminished 7 on the root. What do? We've got to flat the 5, and we've got to double flat that 7, so it's going to be here, and then we got the flat 3. So we got this root, flat 5. Okay. And let's get these shapes here for you. I can hear you. Oh, don't do that. What just happened there? Oh, ouch. Let's delete that. Let's redo this real fast. I don't know what happened. There. Let's just respell this. There we go. Bam. And then let's take this major 7 again, just to show you the process of how I think of going from major 7 to major 6. You got to start with major 7 shape, and then copy it. Oops. Paste it. And then change 1 note to get to the, that's our 7, so we want to go to, sorry, let me get out of this view. There's a 6. And that needs to be called, gotta get rid of that. That was wrong. C, G, 7, 6, 1, 5, 6, 3. That's kind of equivalent to this shape that we all love so much. Right? That's now a major 6 shape here. So C6. Let's take the minor 7. Hopefully you're hanging along with me and enjoying this process video lesson as I get this onto Patreon so we can complete the 7th chord and 6th chord routine of the inversions. These are the drop 2 voicings that are so popular on the guitar because they lay really well for the most part. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to add a bar. And let's take the minor 7 shape. Paste it. Get the grid. Then what do we do to a minor 7 to make it minor 6? Sorry, this is going to bother me if it's not aligned correctly. What do we do? Good. We flat the 7. Thank you. To a 6. That's easy enough. I always say practice 7, 6, so I'll show you what I mean. Where is the 7? It's right here. C minor 6. But you're like, Tracy, we usually play it like this for gypsy jazz. Exactly, but we're not going to have the G up there, we're going to have it down here. So I'm not saying it's easy. That's what I'm saying. And that'd be equivalent to this shape down here that no one really likes to play either. The fingering of it. So again, some of these you probably won't want to play. You won't use them too often. I know I don't. So, you know, please check out this study and go through it. But hopefully you get something out of it too. Okay. Let's finish this up. We've got one more inversion. We started with a fifth in the bass. We started with a 7. Then we went to the root. Now we got the 3rd in the bass. Okay. Notice how I'm talking about the bass, because that's an easier way to think of it. Let's put a double bar here. Double bars help kind of just divide up the sections. So I'm going to just copy and paste this here. Oh, I just went and did it all, didn't I? So let's go ahead and change this chord. Got the 3rd. Now we need the 7. Now we need the root. And now we need the 5th. So let's check this one out here. Root. Or sorry, 3rd, 5th, root, or root 5th. Oh my gosh. Right? We love that one. Down here. Oh my gosh. That's what I'm saying. That's where I like this shape. Many of you know my little hack, the 6 shape down here. But again, you get a perfect 5th. This is a really cool chord. I do like it a lot, but it's not easy to play. So let's go ahead and write that shape in. Now we're gonna make that a dom. Here, I should just do this. Actually, let me just copy and paste it here to save a little bit of time. Now we're gonna just take the B and turn it to B flat. And that makes it dominant 7. And yeah, I should rename that. And that's C7. Now, what do? We got to flat the 3. So let me copy and paste this just to kind of show you. It's easier to just do that. So we got the 3 is right here. Now that's a 3rd in the bass. Now that's C minor 7. My hand is almost stuck in that position. Don't hold these shapes too long. Really gonna shake it off. Again, these are harder to play and not as common. I'm just gonna say that once again. Okay, let's copy this, paste it in here, and now what do we do to make it a minor 7 flat 5? Yep, flat this note, and let's make sure that's called a G flat. There. And that's called C minor 7 flat 5. And then to make it a fully dim, what do? I'm going to copy this again just to show you. And let's make it a whole note. What do we do now? Oh, something happened here. What do we do now? We double flat the 7. So where's that 7? Right here. Now we have to go. Now that's a fully dim 7. C dim 7. Okay. And that I'm calling it an A note, as you know. Let's take the C major 7 shape. Again, I'm just kind of showing you. Oh. There. Call that out. Okay, so C major 7. We're going to copy this in. And let's call that good. And now let's copy it into this 6 shape here. And what do? Oh, interesting, that whole grid copy. Usually I don't copy the grids too. What do we do to make it a... Oh, that's weird. The right one didn't get copied. There. So we got the C major 7. Now we're going to make it a 6 by changing... Well, I gotta spell it correctly. That's not here. There, C6. Look at that shape. So, now what do we want to do? We got the major 7 to the major 6. Again, the major 7 was this. The major 6 was this. So it's, you know, a different fingering. It's drastic. Let's take the minor 7. Oh, let me go back. Let me call these half notes. Good. I know this is a process video. Thank you for hanging out with me as I do this. Get this prepared for everybody on Patreon. And let's call it a half note. Let's get that minor 7. Now let's copy this. And what do we do to a minor 7 to make it minor 6? Yep, we flat the 6, or flat the 7 to a 6. So da da, and we call it C minor 6. And bam, ta-da! Congratulations, you just went through the whole routine with me on the, well, not the the 6 5 4 3 strings. The notes being, I used it as the 6-string note. It helps me to think about which degree of it, but then you just have to know the layout still. Nothing changed from the, you know, from where we started with the 4 3 2 1 strings, the top 4 strings. Now we're on the low 4 strings, if you want to call it that. All right, I'm going to save this, get this on Patreon for you all, but I hope you enjoy this process video lesson. We'll see you guys next time. Take care. Cheers.